oppressive aura, my tusk. We'll show her an oppressive aura. You're not from around here, are you? Not all hung up on local superstitions. Good. You looking for work? I could use someone to guard my back while I clear the ghosts out of that haunted mansion up on the hill. The locals call it Coralania Manor. They say it's abandoned and free for salvage. There's rumors of treasure, too. But also that no one who goes after it ever comes out. I'm not so worried about that. There's one other catch, though. We've got competition. Another so-called ghost hunter trying to beat me to the punch. So we've got to do it first. And look, if we do happen to find long-lost treasure while we're in there, I'll cut you in for a share. What do you say? Gaz is the name of my rival ghost hunter. Last I saw her, she was hanging around the front doors to the manor. Maybe you could talk to her and see what she's planning? Then we'll know how to keep ahead of her once we get inside. She's a whimpering little know-it-all who isn't happy unless she's the center of attention. You seem like a quick study. We're about to go talk to her. You'll see exactly what I mean. Look, I'll be honest with you. I'm a bit of an amateur ghost hunter. I cleared out one good haunting, but Gaz got all the credit for it. That's why this job is so important. It's how I'm finally gonna make a name for myself. Glenumbra. The haunting of Chill House. I did all the hard work, while Gaz was more concerned about all that unfinished business nonsense. She got the reward, and the notoriety. I didn't get so much as a thank you. I booked passage on a ship going to the farthest place from where I was at the time. Found out too late that Gaz did too. Just to spite me. We shipwrecked here on Solstice a while back. With the reward money, I'll finally be able to leave. I was inspired by a ghost hunting group that visited our stronghold back in Orsinium. Turns out there's a lot more physicality to ghost hunting than I thought. I was tired of wrestling bears back home. Punching ghosts? That's a real challenge. Yeah, can't you? But look, it's a secondary measure. I give the ghosts a chance to leave first. If they don't, or can't, that's when I introduce them to my fists. Besides it once belonging to necromancers? Not much. These Coralanias really don't like talking about their ancestors. Oh, that's right. No Coralania that went inside ever made it out. Dead or alive. But we're not Coralanias. We'll be alright.
Oh, you're back.
I knew you were too much of a lamb's liver to go inside on your own.
It's not like I was waiting for you. I was looking for traps. Who's this with you? So, my sister had to hire help just to feel like she's above someone, huh? Typical. Oh, she didn't mention that? Interesting. I wonder what else she's not telling you. Did she say this manor is extremely haunted? And that no one who has ventured inside to find the treasure has ever come out? Well, I suppose she didn't mention that it belonged to the ancient necromancers of old Clan Coralania, so there's likely far more than just ghosts to deal with inside. Extra hazards should mean extra pay. What's she paying you anyway? That's not fair! That's what I was going to offer! She's always copying me! It was my idea to clear this place out before Orbesh. If you get tired of her and help me instead, I'll pay you the same. Nothing left to do but head inside the manor, I suppose. You must not be from Solstice. Locals won't even come near this mansion. Especially not if they have Coralania blood. I tried asking some of those Stark people, but they were too busy. I grew up in a small stronghold in Western Orsinium. But I never wanted to be someone's forge wife. I always knew I was meant to see the world. Guess who decided to follow me when I told my family I was leaving? She had everything going for her. Clan always said she was everything an orc daughter ought to be. Strong, brave, a good cook. So I can only imagine she decided to tag along just to spite me. I tried to get away from Orbesh since she hates me so much. Because she's always copying my ideas, I realized too late that she'd booked the same ship out of Daggerfall. We shipwrecked here during a storm. I've been trying to leave ever since. Not much. The gold is certainly enticing, but it's not why I'm a ghost hunter. I want to help lost spirits find peace and move on. And I mean to make a name for myself doing just that, here at Coralania Manor. If I'm being honest, I guess I'd like to know more about the history of this place. There's gotta be all kinds of information waiting inside. Historical tomes, ancient spellbooks, forbidden knowledge from times long past. It's all a draw to me. As far as I could learn, it was the seat of power for Clan Coralania following their exile to Solstice. Generations of powerful necromancers made their home here. But after the revolution, it was abandoned. Clan Coralania shifted away from necromancy sometime in the late First Era. That's why they worship the Three Queens now. It seems like there were some necromancy devotees who resisted the change. I think they met violent ends. Anyone on this island will tell you it's because the place is haunted. But I can't imagine that's the whole story. Not unless these islanders are just unusually afraid of ghosts compared to the people of Tamriel. Anyone with any sense is afraid of ghosts to some degree. But unlike my sister, I like to understand the plight of a displaced spirit. To try to solve problems without violence first. Maybe that's what this manor needs. A little understanding. Let's search around the foyer. If there are any spirits in the room with us now,
Come out and fight me! Or my hired help and I are going to loot this place for all it's worth.
sea glass. I wonder if it holds sentimental value to the spirits here. Candles? I definitely sense an unusual aura clinging to them.
Hey, wait! Come back and fight me!
A spirit? Did you see it? Where did it come from? What did you do? What did you find? What happened when you touched it? Was it a spirit that flew out, or some sort of spell-like orb? Did you feel any flashes of memory or strange emotions? Which way did it go? I just want to look at whatever it is you picked up. It's small, right? I doubt it'll be helpful in Orbesh's quest to punch every ghost in the face, or whatever it is she's planning to do. I've read about things like this. Soul gems, sigil geodes. It holds a soul captive, like a cage. It's warm, isn't it? Whoever was in there must have been trapped for quite some time. We should follow that spirit and learn more. You and Orbesh can do what you want. I intend to follow that spirit. I'm just, seeing if I can sense its aura to guide me to it. I've always been sensitive to things the rest of my family couldn't perceive. Shifts in mood or motivation. Knowing someone's ill intentions before they're revealed to others. It's the same for ghosts, only much clearer. I had a grasp on the aura from that wisp for the briefest moment, then it was gone. The rest of this place is overwhelming. Hatred, sorrow, regret, endless suffering. Honestly, it's making me a little nauseous. I can, but I think we'd both prefer it if I keep those perceptions to myself. And I just know if I keep talking to you too long, Orbish might get punchy. We should find out where that spirit went. I've read a number of texts on the nature of necromancy that are perfectly relevant and appropriate for my area of study. Which, to be clear, is ghost hunting. My interest is in helping the dead, not controlling them. I hadn't thought much about it. I suppose we might. It once belonged to ancient necromancers, after all. A good scholar might take it upon herself to preserve what we find, for posterity and historical importance.
Well, I can see where it went if I crouch down. But I don't have to tell you guys.
I didn't ask you to. I'm perfectly capable of finding where it went by following the emanations of its aura. I definitely feel a strong, vengeful aura coming from somewhere in this room.
Yeah, from me. Now stay out of the way while we do all the actual searching, guys.
I was just about to search that. Nothing?
Stay your hands, trespassers. Speak to me, and we may avoid conflict.
What? Are you scared, Orbesh?
I'm not! I just slipped on the wisp droppings.
Scavengers, trespassers. Had you not freed me from that soul cage, I would turn my full wrath upon you. And yet, also my rescuers. I owe you my begrudging thanks. I am Valendir, the High Necromancer of Clan Corolonia, and the master of this manor. A temporary form borrowed for this occasion. I will find something more dignified soon enough. You come seeking riches, do you not? This manor hosts a vault of Corolonia gold, untouched since our days of glory. It's yours if you agree to aid me. No Corolonian that trespassed these halls after my death would ever be able to leave. No nosy outsiders could find the vault and survive, just as I planned. Gold means nothing to me. Exacting revenge on those who trapped me, that is what I desire. By interrogating the spirits that wander these once honored halls. Start in either the Wailing Gardens or my reanimatorium, whichever you prefer. As a show of trust, and to conceal my presence, I will return to the soul cage. Do we have an accord? Take the trapdoor in the corner to enter the reanimatorium, or the south door to reach the gardens. Surely we'll find someone who can tell us how I was murdered. Collect me in the soul cage when you are ready to move on. A hedge maze where my sister Lirianwe used to practice her singing in private. My brother Siluron and I called it the Wailing Gardens to tease her for her shyness. In truth, she has a lovely voice. I have missed hearing it these many years. My private sanctum, the domain of my life's work as a necromancer. My usurpers would surely seek to destroy it when they thought I met my end. Oh, I can't wait to see what became of them. Use the trapdoor in the corner to access it. My kin plotted to bury our family's legacy. They told me to forsake my necromancy and embrace their 3 queens. If I complied, they would let me and my siblings live. You'd think they'd know better than to threaten a necromancer. I curse these grounds and our bloodline in anticipation of treachery. My betrayers would be trapped, and no Corolonian that entered these halls would ever be able to leave. Had I more time, I'd have added more death traps as well. You'll see soon enough, trespasser. Do not fret. I am their architect, and I am helpless to accomplish anything here without your assistance. With my help, the traps will pose minor obstacles to you and your tusked friends. It didn't obviously. This soul cage is a tool I invented to circumvent the nastier side effects of lichdom. If I was going to rule this clan for an eternity, I would need to keep my psyche intact. I put aside the aspirations of lichdom when my clan began speaking of the 3 queens in rebellion. Protecting my family and our legacy was more important at the time. But I won't allow myself to be blinded by hindsight. We move forward.
So we have to work together if we want to get that treasure. Fine. Let's head down the trapdoor first.
What? Absolutely not. We should search the gardens first.
You agree with me, right? We should search the reanimatorium first instead of the Wailing Gardens. Honestly, because I knew Gaz would pick the gardens. I want her whining about me copying her again. I don't really care what we do first. You found the wisp, so I say you should pick.
I'm thrilled to be helping you with Valentir's unfinished business so he can find closure and move on. Even if it means having to work with Orbesh. You agree with me, don't you? The gardens are the perfect place to start. I feel like there's something calling to me in the gardens. Some other forlorn spirit in need of guidance. You don't feel it? And I hate the sound of the reanimatorium. Only one guess as to what goes on there. It makes me shudder.
And you thought the gardens were gonna be less
shut
creepy.
up. Aren't you supposed to be punching things?
Come a little closer and maybe I will.
The maze is overgrown. There's no way inside. Valentir, please help us so we can help you.
There, under the bickering. Do you hear it? That music? It's Lirionwe, my sister. She's here. Practicing in the hedge maze, just as she always did. Has she really been trapped here all this time? If she worked in sympathy with those that wish to forsake our family's legacy of necromancy, the curse I set upon this house would have trapped her here. No, it cannot be. Lirionwe would never do that to me. We need to reach her and learn more. I suppose you might use the soul cage to transfer my essence to that statue. I am more accustomed to animating organic matter, so I will require your direction. Point me to a weak spot, and I will use the statue to break through the hedge. You, I can depend on. Those other 2 seem preoccupied with their senseless bickering. Are they always like this? I shouldn't be surprised. This is the inherent nature of siblings from my experience. Oh, the quarrels Siluran and I used to get into. The way we used to tease our younger sister, Lirionwe. It must be the same for you and your siblings? Yes, perhaps I sound like Gaz by saying so, but I can sense as much in your temperament. It is a blessing to have those who have seen your worst side, know your truest self, and still stand by you anyway. I am situated. I defer to your guidance, trespasser.
He's going to smash the overgrown hedges? Come on. I could do that.
I think we'd still be waiting on you, Orbesh. Come on. I sense the auras of other spirits further in.
Very well. Guide me, and let us end this indignity quickly. Another step closer. Keep up, trespassers.
Is this what it's like to be you guys? Letting someone else do all the hard work while you just tag along?
An original thought? Strung together all on your own? Orbesh, our parents will be so proud.
Ready. Mark the way for me, then. Cease the bickering, trespassers. We're close now. Lirianwe is near. A party full of faces, familiar and new.
I still don't see this singing sister. Should we speak to the guests? Mingle a bit?
Fine. But if one of them makes the wrong move, or you take too long, I'm going to start swinging.
An outsider? How novel. Would you care for a dance? I've only had other spirits of Clan Coralania here, and it's no fun dancing with family. Oh, let me guess. You're here for the treasure, aren't you? Oh, would that I could tell you, newcomer. I died before I made it that far. Now I'm spending eternity with all my family, who thought they could circumvent the curse on this manor too. Oh well. At least there's music and dancing.
Outsiders. It feels like an eternity since I've seen anyone who wasn't a Coralania. How long has it been? Tell me, does our clan still survive? Did the three queens guide us to a new age free from the shackles of necromancy? Then our revolution was not for nothing. That fickle Valandir. We gave him every chance to adapt and change his ways. Instead, he cursed these crowds. A trap for all that carry Coralania blood. Doomed to dance, never to leave. The dancing wasn't Valandir. I don't know who it might be. My cousin Lirianwe doesn't seem all the way here. We're subject to some whim of hers or some other master I don't know. Speak to her. She looks different from the rest of us.
Oh, new faces? How exciting. Are you one of the servants that Siluran hired from the mainland? I didn't think he'd ever win that argument against Valandir. Whatever your opinions on necromancy, there's no denying that skeletal servants are simply more practical. Followed it through the Wailing Gardens, did you? I see. My brothers must have sent you to tease me. Twins are so fickle, but I won't let you ruin my night, whoever you are. Look at my audience. See how they dance. And soon, you'll dance for me too. A threat to get you to dance with Valandir. Didn't you say you were his guest? I was hoping to see him and Siluran. My dear brothers always encouraged me to be less shy with my singing. Will Valandir be here soon?
Ah! More sisters?
Come, trespasser. I won't have Leary see me like this. That thing isn't my sister. It's some artless fabrication containing a fragment of her at best. She seems to think this is some sort of party where she's been asked to sing, like she always wished for, like we always encouraged her to do. I stand by my initial assessment. Leary never would have conspired with those who opposed me. She was a practicing necromancer herself. Her skill might have matched mine given time. But what I've seen here could only have been done by a necromancer. These fragments of my sister's body and spirit are the byproduct of a necromantic procedure of my own invention. I never got it quite right. Hard enough to believe that she might have betrayed me. But then to do this to herself? It's unthinkable. Very astute. That is where I left my notes, and several hindrances to those who would go seeking my work. Fret not. I will guide you safely through them. But do tell Gaz to brace herself. It's as bad down there as she fears.
What's that fog up ahead? Valendir? A little help?
Ha! So the miasma trap performed perfectly. In the event of my death, portions of these chambers would fill with a deadly toxin to zombify any that wandered into its mire. Another layer of defense against those who would steal or destroy my work. At full power, I might command those zombies to do my bidding. I would have no need for the aid of some ragtag band of trespassers. It would be done in an instant. In this diminished form, I will need your assistance and guidance. You're clever, trespasser. Well worth the gold I've promised you. If only you'd been at my side during the time of our clan's revolution, this manor would still be mine. As before, I will act as the blunt instrument to clear my path to revenge.
The smell down here. It's horrible.
Oh, come on. Doesn't smell any worse than the awful pits back home. It's got the stomach of a puny elf.
Very well. Guide me, and let us end this indignity quickly. The armor cannot withstand the traps on the floor, trespasser. Again, please.
Clearing! Oh! You know what? I'll let you go ahead.
My flesh-crafting tools. Blunted from recent use. How is that possible? Let us keep searching.
These traps look more complicated.
I am situated. I defer to your guidance, trespasser.
Might have to send Valendir on a path around the traps. I think she was gonna say. Go on. I'll make sure she doesn't have to clean her lunch off her robes.
The miasma clears. There's something here. A letter, I think. I thought these shambling wretches looked familiar. My traitorous kin fell right into my trap. Ready. Mark the way for me then. The room is clear. There. Is that the spirit of my cousin Glendeval? Speak with him.
Who are you? Clearing the miasma like that? All these years I spent wandering after my shambling body, trying to guide it to one of those valves, so my cousin might collect it and restore me as promised. Was it all a lie to keep me out of the way? Valendir? No. Valendir is dead. Contained. This is all his doing. For all our conspiring, we never knew the measures he planned in the event of his death. A curse trapping the souls of all who betrayed him. Damn him! I made the poison, but we needed another to pass it to his hand. Someone he trusted during the time of revolution. His sister, Mirianwe. Sometimes I hear her singing. She is still here. We traitors will always be here. Everything went wrong. I can't be sure. Wait. You know about the soul cage? You speak with Valendir. Please, if he is not your enemy, perhaps you can persuade him to release the souls trapped here. Haven't we suffered enough? Hasn't he?
Suffer in pieces, cousin.
No. Mercy!
I swore to protect this family, and this is the thanks I get? Traitorous scum. Come, my most resourceful guests. Let us speak.
Cuz, you made me miss out on punching a ghost!
I think I might be sick again.
I expected treachery. I knew our extended family planned to forsake our necromantic legacy and bid the three queens for power. But they were no match for my mastery of death. So, they conspired my disposal by way of those closest to me. I've wondered the same thing. Whoever had the foresight for such an implement would need to understand a great deal of necromantic theory, a practice that much of the rest of my family was eager to distance themselves from at that point in time. I was, and she had such a gift for it. But her heart was always with her music, and I never stood in the way of that, or tried to persuade her to give up that passion. Why then? Why would she conspire against me? Why pass me that poisoned cup? Is that an impatience for treasure I hear? Fear not, my obedient friend. The wealth that drew my clan's treacherous descendants for decades will be yours soon enough. Let us go to my chambers, where I met my end. There is something I must see. Return to the manor foyer and head up the stairs. Turn right at the top and you will find the door to my room. Make haste. I will explain more when we get there. I will not entertain this line of questioning for another instant, trespasser. Not until we find proof of my sister's guilt. She was the only one I trusted completely. Of course, that would mean she was perfectly poised to murder me. Silveron? Kill me? To what? Take my place? He wasn't a necromancer. And he never had the gall to kill a skeever, let alone his twin brother. Besides, we'd have seen his soul shambling around like the others. Silveron, don't make me laugh.
Leave the books, you little know-it-all. They're not going anywhere.
You're just trying to ruin my fun because you haven't punched any ghosts yet.
My quarters, where I died. Be my hands and eyes, will you? Search the room.
If it gets us one step closer to treasure, fine.
Siluran was the mastermind behind this treachery? That cup. Leary handed it to me and I took it without thinking. It's the last thing I remember. That was Leary's. She had the cup in one hand, and that in the other.
What's she doing here?
I knew we weren't alone.
Siluran! Oh, Siluran, what have you done? Valendir swore to protect us. How could you do this to your own flesh and blood? He passed me the cup to give to Valendir. It was something he always did to resolve their quarrels. I didn't know it was poisoned. When Valendir said it tasted strange, I tried it for myself. Now I'm here, trapped. He's here. He's always been here, trying to restore a mortal form for me. Each time his failure fractures me. There is so little left of me. I don't want to live again without my brothers. I just want peace. Please, stop, Siluran.
Her aura radiates suffering. Valendir, what can we do to help her? To help you?
To think that I labored under the delusion that a necromancer of skill was behind this treachery. Instead, it was my talentless parasite of a brother, Siluran, harming Leary, leeching off my soul. Help me stop him, and my treasure is yours. He wasn't in the gardens. It seems he sends the fragments of Leary there to keep them out of his way, placated. But we know he makes occasional visits to the reanimatorium. That much was clear from the state of my old flesh-crafting tools. I'm not certain. If he were practiced in necromancy enough to use thralls, why not command them to dispel the miasma? He must have been using it to his advantage. His journal said something about having no shortage of subjects to practice on, yes? He practiced necromancy on the bodies of those who became trapped here, preying on kin and treasure hunters alike. But none have come for some time, have they? Until you and your... Wait, where's Orbesh? She didn't touch the bookshelf, did she?
Orbesh was just here, wasn't she? By the bookshelf? I wasn't watching. Where did she go? Is it a secret door? Orbesh! Orbesh! Where could she have gone? If Orbesh went through that miasma, she'd be dead. She can't be dead. Let's look around. Valendir, start talking or I'm going to take a lesson from my sister and start throwing fists. Where is she?
My brother needs your sister alive, Trespasser. We can save her, but we must act quickly. Your tusked friend there looks ready to snuff me out like a candle. In this diminished state, I fear she could do so easily. That would not be ideal. Quickly, tell me, what did you find? The cloth matches the garb of your belligerent companion? She must have been taken this way. That lantern... I've seen one of its make before. My cousin, Ilhidel, carried one when she came to try to persuade me to give up my necromantic ways. It's a relic used by Meridian cultists to ward against necromantic effects. Brought here by our dead cousins. It must be how Siluran survived the miasma. Affix it to that armor. Once I move, stay inside the aura of the lantern. Understood?
I won't be any help in a fight, but if you clear the path for me, I'll be right behind you.
That's what I'm talking about.
I know the path well. So long as you keep the undead at bay, we should emerge unscathed. Stay close, trespasser. I endeavor to keep you safe. We're more than halfway now by my estimation. Keep going. Nearly there. Then we'll clear the way for Gauze. Her dedication to her sister is quite touching. We're lucky that valve is still intact.
There she is! Orbesh!
Yeah, at last. Let us dispose of these trespassers, and we can use their vitality to restore you and Lyri. Nice try, Siluron. We found your journals. You've mistreated my guests and outstayed your welcome. As if I wouldn't welcome the chance to leave. You there! Why are you helping Valandir? I have no quarrel with you, stranger. Someone who has survived the Manor's traps this long must know better than to ally with Valandir. This curse, this whole manor was his doing. What sways you to the side of this treacherous snake? That treasure is not his to give. Valandir had his time at the head of the table, keeping our legacy shackled to his putrescent art of necromancy. But I am the eldest twin. It should be mine. All of this should be mine. I don't give a right fig about the gold. I cared about family, the revolution. The followers of the Three Queens would not abide necromancers. Not Valandir, not Lyri. I killed Valandir so Lyri could bring him back. It was the only path to compromise. No, trespasser. I buried compromise and forgiveness around the turn of the era. I have learned and lost too much to make amends now. I just need a body for Lirianwe. Yours, or those of your companions, anyone's will do. Come then, see what I've learned while siphoning your wretched soul. There you go again, blaming me for your own shortcomings. You haven't changed a bit.
They sound like me and Orbesh. Let's get over there. We have to save her.
No! I've been trapped here too long to be stopped now!
And I've put up with Orbesh for too long to lose her to some third-rate necromancer. Stop him!
Stay your hand, trespassers! It's me! I'll take that soul cage now, if you please. I told you I would find a more dignified form soon enough. It seems only fitting. Especially since Siluron was using my vitality to keep himself alive all these years. Taking his body is not suitable recompense for all he's done. But it's a start. Trespasser, I didn't even know he was alive until you discovered as much. I assumed my murderer came from the ranks of those following the Three Queens. That they'd have killed him for his association with me. I was wrong to underestimate him. I've got half a mind to siphon his soul and prolong my years. to use him as he used me. And yet, some part of me pities him. I'd hate to copy his ill-laid plans. And I know Leary wouldn't approve. She's been through enough, I think. I'm not sure if I can undo Siluron's damage from his unskilled attempts to restore her, and if it's what Leary herself wants. Let us tend to them, Trespasser, Lyrionwe and Orbesh. And then, Treasure, you have my word.
Orbesh! Wake up! Damn you, wake up!
I'm up! What's going on? The brother! Siluron! He grabbed me! But I got some good punches in before everything went dark, I swear. Where are we? What happened? Huh. That's not ideal. Well, thanks for not letting that happen. Gaz is here too? Figured she'd be glad to finally be rid of me. Panic, I can believe. That sounds like Gaz. But saving me? You know, just before I blacked out, it struck me how much Gaz and I sounded like Valendir and Siluron. Of course she did, because she's always copying my ideas. I mean, she may chip my tusks sometimes. But I guess her coming to save me means we don't hate each other as much as those two elves did. That's gotta count for something, I guess.
The treasure is through that door, Trespassers. Go. I will follow shortly. Leary, forgive me. I never suspected Siluron would do what he did. I'll make sure he pays for it.
He deceived us both. I gave you that cup without thinking. I'm so sorry, Valendir.
Stay with me, Leary. I'll succeed where Siluron failed. I'll bring you back, and we can reclaim our family's name together.
I'm whole again, dearie. All I want is rest. Someday you will too. And then we will see each other again.
Treasure! I can't believe it! I'm rich!
We're rich, Orbesh. You remember how to share, right? I'm glad we saved Orbesh. And we found the treasure, just like she wanted. I really didn't anticipate this haunting going this way. And I'm sure Orbesh didn't either. I suppose we did help Valendir resolve the unfinished business of his murder. But having him come back to life and take over his twin brother's body? That's gotta be a new one, even among seasoned ghost hunters. Seeing what transpired between Valendir and Siluron changed my perspective. They both wanted the same thing, just like me and Orbesh. In the end, their differences and stubbornness tore them apart. I don't want that for us. If she doesn't, she will soon. And then she'll claim she was the first one to think of it. I'm kidding. Mostly. I don't know how she feels. I guess there's only one way to find out. I hope the next haunting I handle isn't quite so intense. And if Orbesh decides to follow me, I can put up with her punching ghosts if the need arises. It's much easier to share credit and gold if we're not rivals. Thanks for teaching us that. I suppose now I have to do the right thing and talk to Orbesh. And apologize. It goes against how we were raised, but maybe that's for the best. I've just gotta wait until her aura indicates that she'll be receptive to that sort of discussion. I got all the credit for our first haunting. I should have shared it. But people made their assumptions because Orbesh is the way she is. I didn't stop them. I thought it might finally get her to stop following me and just go home. Orbesh is everything the Stronghold wanted her to be. I was never good enough for them. Leaving home felt like I'd finally get the chance to be my own person. Her following felt like she was trying to take that from me too. I'm not sure. Where better to practice ghost hunting than a cursed island? But I'm not keen on staying anywhere frequented by the worm cult. I'll figure it out in time. But this wasn't a typical haunting. There's still so much to follow up on. Valendir promised away his fortune without really thinking about it. He seems happy that Lyri passed on, but what are his plans for Siluran? Maybe Orbesh and I could keep an eye on him. Make sure he doesn't get into any trouble. I might as well, if she's just going to follow me around everywhere. It's a different world from the one Valendir knew. We can help him navigate it. And maybe, in return, he can help keep me and Orbesh from ending up like him and Siluran. I can read auras, remember? If he gets up to no good, I'll be able to sense it. Right now, his aura is radiating pain and uncertainty. After almost losing Orbesh, I can see why. Losing family, even those you had a falling out with, can't be easy.
Oz really came after me, huh? Color me surprised. I didn't think she'd care if I got run over by an Achater. Guess I'm not always the one doing the following. I didn't get to punch any ghosts, but maybe I'll get lucky on my next adventure. Siluran, right? He was waiting on the other side. I started throwing punches, thinking he was a ghost. He cast some sort of spell, and everything went hazy. I think he summoned skeletons to carry me. But Lyri, the sister, I remember her being there. No, her spirit, I guess. Or what was left of it. I don't know. Gaz could probably explain it better than me. She helped me resist Siluran's magic. I guess she's resisted every time he tried to bring her back using someone else's body. Like we saw in the garden? I think so. Again, Gaz would know better. I thought Gaz and I were bad. We're really nothing compared to these Corellanians, huh? Guess that's some comfort. We can still come back from it. I guess so. Should probably do it before she can accuse me of copying her or something. Between us, she's not wrong about all that. Never thought about leaving home until she decided to. I didn't think about how our family would react. Everyone suspected Gaz was going to leave. I was a surprise. I got a lot more attention. Marriage proposals, bribes to get me to stay, that sort of thing. You know, saying it out loud to you makes me wonder if that's why she hates me. Funny, right? That she'd be jealous of me. My whole life, I've been jealous of her. How she always knew her path. How she's never been afraid to be herself. Even if that self drives me up the wall most of the time.
I'm glad we could all benefit from this arrangement. We all learn from our mistakes, I suspect. Siluran was always dim, but I think even he learned something. I learned to trust again, thanks to you and these siblings. Be well, trespasser. Don't be absurd. Besides you and those sisters, the only one free to leave is Lyri Anwe. May her soul be at peace. Oh, and Siluran. But I suppose we can't say he's free to go when he'll be trapped in my soul cage. I don't know. Never finding forgiveness is so very Siluran. I ought to set an example for him. Perhaps I'll let him out someday. Perhaps even give him a body. But for now, he deserves a taste of what he put me through. First, I want to see what's become of my beloved clan Corellania. Don't worry, I'll behave myself. I've sated my desire for revenge thanks to you. but I am curious to see what became of those who turned to the Three Queens. What? Remove the deterrence? So it can be picked over by treasure hunters or razed to the ground? No, trespasser. If all that remains of my legacy is this manor, then so it will be. May it serve as a mausoleum to the clan Corolania I knew. I appreciate the warning. It was only different in my time by virtue of seclusion on Solstice. Even you might have appreciated what we accomplished. But there's no point fixating on the past. Perhaps such practices will live again someday. Wouldn't you know it? Being imprisoned for uncountable years has given me a wanderlust I've not felt before. I suspect Gaz and Orbesh know something of what that's like. Perhaps I could follow them. Or do they mean to part ways? I'll help them find reconciliation. It can't be any worse than reasoning with Siluron. And perhaps I'll aid them in these ghost-hunting endeavors. Those of us with interest and experience in communing with the dead ought to stick together.